This podcast has been created and curated to give an insider's perspective on what life is truly like as a leader in higher education, academic medicine, and nonprofit organizations. Join Spiro Coaching Institute co-founders Kara Penfield and Rob Kramer as they talk to a wide variety of leaders from these sectors, gaining holistic perspective into the opportunities, stressors, and delights that come with leading in these unique environments. We hope you enjoy listening.
Hello and welcome. We are delighted you're listening. My name is Rob Kramer. I'm from the Spiro Coaching Institute, and I'm here with my co-founder and fellow partner, Kara Penfield. Kara, how are you today?
I'm fantastic, thank you. And I'm super excited to be talking with and learning from our amazing guests. Joining us for this conversation is Dr. Dele Davies, who was appointed Chancellor of the University of Nebraska Medical Center on July 1st of this year, after serving as the interim chancellor for 2 years. Dr. Davies is a renowned academic leader, researcher, and pediatrician who specializes in pediatric infectious diseases. Before serving in leadership positions at UNMC, he chaired pediatrics at Michigan State University and directed the Child Health Research Unit at Alberta Children's Hospital at the University of Calgary in Canada. He holds a medical degree from the University of Toronto and advanced degrees from Harvard and Toronto in healthcare management and epidemiology, respectively. What his awe-inspiring bio cannot properly communicate is the way Dele is as a human. Rob and I experience him as humble, kind, curious, creative, authentic, and generous. We are immeasurably grateful for you for sharing part of your day with us and for the opportunity to introduce our listeners to you.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real honor to be here with both of you. You guys are amazing. I've enjoyed knowing both of you all these years, and you guys have added so much to my life, as well as to the life of many people that I have worked with here at UNMC. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dele. We're going to start you off with the hardest question of the whole interview. All right. What was the first concert you ever attended?
The first concert I ever attended was in Nigeria. So I grew up in Nigeria. I was there till I was 15. And I remember going to, I think there was like an African special, I guess, community type of concert, event where they had different countries coming. There was a group called Ipitombi from South Africa. And they presented, and I was just mesmerized. This was really the first time I saw a live performance, but also just to see what was being depicted at the time. Of course, apartheid was still the norm there in South Africa at the time, but it was a very, very powerful and gripping performance. So that would be my first recollection of ever going to a concert, was Ipitombi from South Africa.
Amazing. You definitely win the award for most fascinating first concert anyone's ever seen. How about Dele? What's the best concert you've ever seen?
Wow. I would say that there are a number of firsts. I would say Earth, Wind, and Fire would be right up there.
Wow.
Yes.
Well done, Dr. Davies.
Yeah, that was in London. So that would be right. I would say it would be right up there.
How old were you at the time? Do you remember?
It would be a teenager, so 16, 17.
Holy cow.
Oh, Dele, that is the coolest answer we've ever gotten. Very, very cool. Dele, how or when are you most creative?
In the morning, absolutely. I'm usually somebody who likes to get up early. I find that I'm most at my creative best in the morning, where my mind is clear. I can sort of, I usually have a quiet time in the morning where, I meditate, pray, and then after that, I can then focus on what I need to get done for the day. And usually when I'm going to, write papers, or when I'm going to think strategically, my best time is in the morning before anybody gets up, before the hustle and bustle of the day come on. I also like to go for long walks, and while I'm walking, just meditate and think about things. A lot of great ideas come to me when I'm sort of walking, in sort of serene sort of settings.
Can I piggyback on that, Dele? What you're fascinated about right now?
Well, I'm fascinated. I like certain podcasts, and one podcast that I really enjoy listening to, is one called Founders by a guy by the name of David Senra. And I like it because it's a podcast on biographies of people. And these are biographies of really people who've been successful in life. They're not always business people. Some of them are sports. Some of them are, musicians, actually, actors. But they've all had one thing in common, is that they've been able to sort of take their skill and take it to the highest level. And I find that, it's fascinating how you can find commonalities between a Warren Buffett, who is obviously a very successful business person, and maybe, Bruce Springsteen, who is a musician. And you think, what could they possibly have in common? But they both share that sort of, sense of vision, clarity, resilience, and sort of being focused on what they're doing. So I've really enjoyed listening to Founders.
Very cool.
That is awesome. Dele, I'm going to move us into a little speed round. These are this or that questions. Porch swing or reclining chair?
Reclining chair.
Yeah? Tell me more.
Well, I like to sort of, pull together a nice book and sort of put my legs up and read, read, some, interesting, either articles, books, just again, a lot of that is a lot of what, if I'm reading books, they tend to be more semi-biographical or maybe historical sort of in nature. That again ties into my, I think it's, Charlie Munger is a close colleague of Warren Buffett. He passed away last year, and he made the point that he said their idea is worth $1 billion in a $20 history book. And so just learning from others who typically share a lot of their successes towards the end of their life, right? They can really reveal a lot about how they've done things. And I found that I've been able to pick up things from people who I've never met and feel like I've had the privilege of learning from them.
That's awesome. Bamboo or oak tree?
I would say that's a tough one because they both have properties that I like. I would say bamboo, probably. There's a Chinese bamboo tree that when it's planted, you water it, and for 7 years or more, it looks like nothing is happening, right? A lot of people might tend to sort of say, okay, give up on this. Why would I be wasting time with this plant that I've spent so much time on and I've not really seen any benefit from? But in the 7th year or so, it grows 70 feet in 1 year. And everybody says, wow, overnight success. So I love that because it just tells you, what it says to me is that oftentimes people don't see the hard work that it takes to get to where we are. And the bamboo tree, of course, has the property of also being flexible, but not easily broken. And so it might be misunderstood by people who might say, well, just look at this bamboo tree, not realizing how much work has gone in, right? Those 7 years when nothing seemed like was going on, it was developing a very extensive root system to support that incredible growth that occurs in the 7th year. So I've always liked the bamboo tree for that reason, because I guess it sort of speaks to, I think, an important feature of what it takes to succeed in life. For those who really do succeed, the overnight successes that people see are usually after so many years of hard work and resilience and building the foundation that allows them to succeed.
All right. So another question for you. If you could do anything to rejuvenate, what is it?
I like to go for long walks. I like to listen, to podcasts while I'm walking. When I get the opportunity, I was a late skier. I haven't gone in a couple of years, but I do enjoy downhill skiing, not cross country. That's a lot of work. But going uphill is a real challenge, right?
It is.
However, I do like, skiing. But I would say that, I just really value just getting out. When I was in Canada, where we had a lot of trails, I would go for long trail walks, especially during the summer when I could come home late and we still have 3 or 4 hours of sunshine left. And, ride my bike outside or just go outside for walks. That's something that I really enjoy doing.
Are you able to do that in your incredibly busy work weeks? Can you find little slivers of
Well,
time?
I have a philosophy. I do what I can when I can as I can. So I'm not always able to do it, but I try to do it when take opportunity when I can. And I try to reserve my Saturdays. So even now on Saturdays, I would go for a 3-hour walk consistently. And then during the week, when I get home, if I can even get 3 miles in, I try to, but I can't do it every day for sure.
I would love to know, Dele, what is a new thing coming in the future that you're looking forward to?
Well, it's I would say I am looking forward to the benefits of AI. I want to be very clear that I also understand that it's a double-edged sword that has the potential to be both destructive and also constructive. But I'm excited about what AI, has to offer in terms of allowing us to function at the best of our, ticket, so to speak. I think AI offers certain unique opportunities, especially in healthcare, that can certainly help improve the human condition. I'm very clear that it also offers a lot of potential risks, of course, and I know that there are a lot of people concerned about it. But already we're seeing some benefits of AI in terms of helping people, for example, who may be, impaired visually, people who maybe have certain challenges that they face. It can certainly help improve quality of life in so many different ways that we can certainly dive deeper into if needed. But also, I think it offers the opportunity for us to get to a level of understanding of certain things that would be impossible for us to get to otherwise. So the opportunity then I think for our next generation of students to be able to imagine and do things that they couldn't possibly even imagine and do right now is really something. It can help certainly, for example, in healthcare, we're finding that it's already helping to get patients out sooner, free up beds so that patients who are in emergency rooms can get into beds faster. It's already helping us to help automate and make it reduce the paperwork that physicians have to do so they can focus more on patient care. So those are some of the benefits I think I'm already seeing with AI, and I think the sky's the limit. We do have to be very careful about the misinformation, the bias, the deceit that can also come with AI, and I think making sure that we have ethical companies that can also be guarded in terms of how they release AI tools that can be destructive is really key. There's a company called Anthropic. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're the ones who recently found out that they developed an AI tool that could basically identify vulnerabilities in every single system that exists right now.
Wow.
And basically, yeah, including banking systems, etc. And they did the right thing. They decided they were not going to release this until they could find patches for that. So I'm very proud of that company. I mean, obviously, they're one who are taking the ethical high road. And I hope that all the other companies that are putting out AI tools will be mindful of doing the same thing.
That makes me aware, Dele, that at the level that you lead, being able to lead and with a mind towards education and ethics related to AI must have the opportunity to consume a lot of your time.
Exactly. And so about a few years ago, we actually put out we put together a task force at UNMC, and we had about, I think, 70 faculty, staff, and students come together to discuss how AI was going to impact everything that we're doing and what we should be looking at. And when we had 5 topics that we wanted them to focus on. One was how AI would impact our education and training, how it would impact research, business functions, clinical. And then the 5th one was ethics. It was misinformation, disinformation, and bias. So we actually had 2 people who co-chaired that whole as a group. One was our Dean of Libraries, But interestingly enough, the second person that we chose as co-chair was an attorney who works here at UNMC, whose focus is on ethics. So that was really important to have both of those people be the ones leading. And of course, we had content experts in each of those areas, at least as much as there's such people right now in AI. Obviously, it's an evolving field. But it's been very helpful for us as a campus. And we have a conference coming up actually next week on AI that's going to have, we have over 300 people registered already for that conference.
Nice.
Just again, trying to talk through all these issues.
Yeah, it's really moving fast, isn't it? Yeah. Dele, do you prefer going to see a play or going to see a movie?
A play, absolutely.
Why? What is it about a play?
I have always been interested in the arts. I actually, interestingly enough, when I was in college, I actually acted in a play, which was
Get out of here!
I did. Yes, in undergrad, I acted in a play, and I found that very, very interesting.
Do you remember the play? What it was?
Yeah.
Remember the name anymore?
But it was I don't remember the name, but I remember it was a play about a person who was having challenges. It was a relationship issue, and they were struggling. And I think it was sort of, at the time, they were both, I guess they were living together, but not. They decided to get married, decided to have issues after they got married, after living together, and it was a comedy. Anyhow, so it's been a while.
So this is an aside, and we can't go too far down this rabbit hole at all, but that brings up the question for me of medical humanities. Do you have any sense or belief or support or thoughts on the use of the humanities for physicians?
Absolutely. So I'm a strong believer in medical humanities. I actually helped start a medical humanities program right here at UNMC. So several years ago, with when President Gold, he was a chancellor ahead of me, he was also the chancellor for UNO. And together, myself and the dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at the time, Dean David Booker is his name, started. So he wanted to start a medical humanities major at UNO. And I, at the same time, worked with him to start a medical humanities program here at UNMC, focused in our Interprofessional Academy of Educators. And so we now actually have an endowed chair in medical humanities. And we have a strong humanities program at UNMC. Not only programs, we have, a high school alliance, which is a health sciences high school, where students come here from 1 to 3 every day from high school as juniors or seniors. And they have, as part of that humanities course, in the art and science of medical decision-making. We have a very strong, program here across campus. So we have a couple of people who are totally dedicated to helping oversee our whole, artwork on campus. I think you've seen our Chiholi Center, one of the finest in the country. And we have a Nebraska medical orchestra. So we have a medical orchestra here. Wow. That's staffed by faculty, staff, and students who have musical talent. And we have a music professor from UNO that leads that orchestra.
Nice.
And then we have several, we have the whole ethics program. So we have a burgeoning, really important medical humanities program, and really believe that even the buildings that we build are really not just buildings. They're also designed to help people heal and feel that they want to come to work every day.
Wow. That's awesome, Dele. I don't know if you know, but I have a Master of Fine Arts in acting as part of my background, and I ran 2 theater companies. So if you need me to come out and direct a show, I can do that. And Kara is a master tap dancer. So Kara.
Oh, really? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm telling the truth about me. Yeah.
One truth and a lie.
One truth and a lie.
Well, both of you are, you all have many talents. So love to have you both here and, tap into some of this. Yeah, absolutely. Rob, if you want to come and we actually have on the, I believe it's the 6th of May, the Nebraska Medical Orchestra is going to be unveiling a fight song. So we have a fight song here at UNMC now.
Funny. Oh, nice.
We have a football team that hasn't lost in 100 years.
Because you've never played.
Never played, exactly. But we do have a fight song. So
that's really cool. All right, we should move on. Kara?
Yeah. Dele, I'm curious. I know you as somebody who has, I don't know, a toolkit of or a bucket of 1,000 quotes that are relevant to whatever you're talking about. If you had to choose one, what would it be?
People don't care what you know until they know that you care.
How is that reflective in the way you lead?
Well, I think that understanding when I'm meeting with people that, first of all, they want to feel valued. They want to know that you care about them as human beings before you start to sort of tell them what you know or what your title or anything is. I think when people understand that you value them for as human beings, you value them for what they bring to the table, and that you really care about them as individuals, then, and not just knowing it, but living it with them so they understand that, then I believe that they'll go through walls for you, and vice versa.
Powerful. Dele, what's something you'd like to learn next?
Well, how about this? I have a a whole bucket list of things that I'd love to learn. I I wish I could have. So I spent 3 months in India many years ago, in 1990 actually. And within those 3 months, I think I got the sense that if I had been there for a year, I could have picked up Hindi. So
Oh,
if
wow.
I had the opportunity, I think I'd like to sort of be more fluent in Spanish and ironically Hindi. Those are the two languages I would actually put up there. And I do, so if the opportunity arises and I had time, that would be something that I would focus on. I also dabble, Rob, in the guitar.
You and me, brother. I
And
didn't know that.
I use the word dabble. So,
Okay.
if I had more time, I'd love to sort of spend some more time,
Yeah.
getting better at that.
Well, I love is you're using other parts of your brain when you're outside of work, right? And exploring your skill sets in a very different way from what you do all day. Do you find that how do you find that supported for you or releasing?
Um, so, I think I grew up um, in a setting where, I didn't have the same opportunities to learn music and but I've always been fascinated with music. I played the recorder a little bit growing up, and I dabbled in the guitar. But my family, my wife is musical. She sings, and all our children played an instrument. My daughter is actually doing a double major in economics and music. She plays the oboe fluently, and she plays piano. She has a band here that she joins her every year and then plays jazz. So music has always been an important of my life and my family life growing up, and certainly since we've had kids, all our children have they all took piano lessons and did they all played different instruments. Um, so music is really important to me personally as a way of another thing that I always add to my life, both certainly outside work as one of the things I do. I actually use for relaxation and for just, I guess, calming down after a long day.
Beautiful.
Dele, forgiveness or permission?
Hmm. Permission.
Yeah.
Was that
Permission.
the same when you were younger?
Yes.
Awesome. Country or city?
Um, hmm. I would have to say city, and I'm sure there are many ways of looking at that. Um, I think country is important, but city is where you have community. City is where you make friends. City is where you plant your seeds. City is where you actually, if you're not plugged into the city, it's very hard to be plugged into the country. So I would say for me, it starts with the city. It starts with my community, and then that gives me a better opportunity to be able to be a better person for the country. And I think, a country is a combination of cities, and without strong cities, the country will not be at its best. So I would have to say city.
City. You live in a remarkable city.
Yes. Yes, Omaha is a great city. I would have to agree on that.
It surprises a lot of people. It's great.
It surprised me, and now I beg people to let me come to Omaha.
She does. Is there something I can do to get back to
Anybody
Nebraska?
need me?
Yes,
In
yeah,
Omaha.
both of you are welcome anytime.
Well, I have to direct a play. I don't know what you're going to do, Kara, but I
Yeah.
think
Well, I'm going to be there at the end of August, facilitating a retreat for.
Well,
Well, let me know. I mean, there's a lot of, so Omaha has some incredible, talking about the arts, right? We have a great art museum called the Joslin. I don't know if you've had a chance to go there. We have an incredible performing arts theater called the Orpheum. I mean, it's world class, as good as any theater you're going to find anywhere. We have the Holland Performing, which has a symphony, beautiful theater. We have this, now called Still House, where you have sort of smaller concerts. So for those of you who are music fans and arts fans, this is a great city, among many other assets that we have here.
Fantastic. One more speed round question. Plane or train?
Oh boy. In reality, I do more planes than trains, and that's mostly due to time. Although I do enjoy the the opportunity to get on a train and sort of unwind and sort of be more immersed in the journey rather than the actual destination. But in reality, I'm more of a plane person right now than a train person. Reality of my life.
All right, Dele, last question for you. If you were going to give a book as a gift, what would it be?
Well, quite honestly, it would be the Bible.
Okay.
Because I think it's one of the books that has the most amazing amount of wisdom of any books I've read. The book of Proverbs in particular is so rich in words of wisdom that I have found very valuable in my life. So it would most likely, if that was the one book I had to give, that would be the book I would give to someone, because I think it's one that has an ability to really impact people's lives.
Dele Davies, thank you so much for your time today. It's really magical.
Well, thank you both. And again, I appreciate this opportunity to spend time with both of you.
It's great to see you again.
Thank you, Dele.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. You can find the books referenced in this episode in the podcast notes below. For more information on the podcast and Spiro Coaching Institute, please visit spirocoaching.com. That's SPIRO coaching.com. Have a great one.